I'm Varun Murali, and this is going to be my redo of my extemporaneous speech number one on the topic choice number one, which was about microplastics in South Korea. So let's begin. Have you ever thought about what might be floating in your cup of water? You're feeling thirsty, you reach over, fill it up from your counter, and you realize, hey, this looks like a perfectly clean, crystal clear cup of water. But what if I told you that what you can't see in there are billions of tiny little pieces of microplastics, invisible to the eye, but entering your body every single day? And think about how many times you drink water in a day and how many times those plastics are given an avenue to get inside your body. Today, I'm trying to persuade you that microplastics have become a growing public health concern across the world, but specifically focusing on its impacts in South Korea. Because exposure is everywhere, in the ground, in the air, in the soil, in the water. While the effects on human health are still yet to be fully researched and discussed among scientists, it really is dependent on us and our changes that we're going to make to combat this problem before the research comes back and determines how detrimental this was for our human health. So let's start with the problem. According to a 2023 report from South Korea's National Health Commission, microplastics have been detected in nearly every part of the environment. Studies found between half a piece and over 6 pieces of microplastics in every cubic meter of air, and smaller amounts in even treated drinking water. Everyday foods like sea salt, anchovies, pepperoni, and shellfish also contain microplastics, up to 2 pieces per gram in some cases. So if you multiply that across the whole weight of the item, it is an unbelievable amount of microplastic entering your body. So soil samples found an average of 700 pieces per kilogram. That means microplastics aren't in the ocean. They're in the very start of our food supply. From the soil that our trees are planted on, it ends up eventually in the produce, the air we breathe, and our farmland. It is everywhere. Scientists have even discovered microplastics in the placentas of pregnant women, showing that this pollution has gotten so detrimental that it's hitting us before we're even born. The truth is, we are constantly consuming plastic, and we just don't know how dangerous that is yet. Now, let's discuss how dangerous this is. Let's talk about what is causing this. According to the Korean Institute of Environmental Research, less than 15% of South Korea's plastic waste is properly recycled. The rest ends up in landfills, waterways, and even as the air in dust-sized particles. Microplastics come from things we're using every single day, from synthetic clothing that we're wearing, like this shirt, or the micro beads in the face washes that we use. Anything smaller than 5 micrometers just slips through. There's nothing we can do. The water treatment plants can't filter out particles this tiny. South Korea's modern lifestyle, with its reliance on convenience products, takeout containers, and online shopping, has created a steady stream from the top down to microplastic pollution that just keeps on cycling back into our bodies through the environment. So now let's talk about what can we do to fix this. The good news is there are real solutions if we act right now. According to the United Nations Environment Program, the first step is going to be stronger research. We need to understand exactly how microplastics are affecting our human health, how much exposure is safe, and what policies are going to be able to reduce this. South Korea's universities and government have a lot of public funding for research on these topics, so effort and production is being made on this. And the very most important step, in my opinion, is policy change. It needs to start with the government. If recycling systems get strengthened, the banning of useless containers that don't need the banning of products that don't need to be plastic but could be in a renewable packaging such as glass or something else. Banning unnecessary microbeads in products, and just overall reducing the amount of packaging that we have that is plastic. Finally, as individuals, we are able to make small but meaningful impacts in our own household. So that means when you go get some detergent, go ahead and get rid of the plastic container and put it into a glass container, or wearing synthetic clothes less often, or using reusable bottles, or just choosing natural options when we have them. Obviously, plastic is going to be the more convenient route to take every single time, but we need to realize that we don't know exactly how much that's impacting us. So, according to the researchers Kim and Lee, who published a 2022 study in the Environmental Science and Policy Journal, public awareness and behavior change are just as important as government action when it comes to tackling this microplastic dilemma. To sum it all up, I've explained how microplastics have become a widespread problem in South Korea, what's causing it, and how we can fight back through research, policy, and personal choices. Microplastics may be invisible, but their impact is very real. They're on our air, our food, and even our water. So if we don't act now, we risk letting this hidden pollution continue unchecked. So next time you drink a glass of water or order takeout, remember, be wary of the plastics inside of it. Thank you.